let me just ask you this way. How complete is this Mariner team right now?
I'm going to do something that I did not necessarily want to do because I am very wary and very cognizant that Mariners fans believe I am a pox. And I try to it's scared me to this point. It really has. Like, I didn't say anything on social media. The game they lost against the Royals, I was there. Like, it's the only game that they've lost in the last 2 weeks. It is the only game in that series that I went to. But we have a story coming out on ESPN.com. I think it's tomorrow. And, we've been the whole baseball writing staff has been asked to just go around and chat with sources and pick their brains about the playoffs. And first question, what's the boldest prediction you've heard from an MLB executive or scout? Passan, the Seattle Mariners are going to win the World Series. Like, that's where we're at this point, guys. And this is not two things. One, this is an evaluator who has been around for a very long time, has seen a lot of things, and whose opinion I trust. But the other part is he's not the only one who thinks that. And I think it's a function, certainly, of the American League being a festival of mediocrity. But it's also, if you just objectively look at what the Mariners are doing right now and the talent that they've had the best offense in Major League Baseball in terms of runs scored as well as peripherals in the month of September. They have a rotation where, as long as Bryan Woo is healthy, Bryan Woo, followed by Logan Gilbert, followed by, whether it's George Kirby or Luis Castillo, that's a lot of good starting pitching. And then you kick Bryce Miller over the bullpen in the playoffs and add him to Caleb Ferguson and Gabe Spire and Matt Brash and Edward Pizarro and Andres Munoz. And all of a sudden it's like you add that together with the quality defense that they play, and you can make an argument that they are actually the most complete team left right now.
Kind of tired of the MVP conversation. I'm going to give Cal a different award. I'm going to give him the Badonka-Conk Award. What do you think about that?
I think you need to pronounce it correctly. Can you try it one more time?
Yeah.
Nope.
It's a second D in that, Brock.
Just one more, please. Please, please, one more time.
I didn't write it down. I read your article and I didn't write it down. That's just how it was stuck in my head.
Yeah. I think that's how Missy pronounced it too, if I'm not mistaken.
Badonka-Conk?
No.
Two
Ds.
No.
Two Ds?
Yeah. It's not conk. It's a donk at the end. Try it one more time. Third time's a charm.
Badonka-Donk.
Got it.
Yeah! Woo!
I got Brock Huard to say badonkadonk on his third try.
Badonkadonk, badonkadonk, badonkadonk. Badonkadonk, badonkadonk. What is that? What is that award? What are we doing here in your column?
Are you aware of what a badonkadonk is?
No, I am not. Nope, I am not.
That's another way of saying that somebody's got a big booty.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
As I said in the story, in awarding Cal Raleigh the Badonkadonk of the Year, he puts the Maximus in gluteus, and I was not going to award MVPs like everyone else. Number one, just because I do not want to get caught up at the discourse. Like, this is a big part of why I stopped voting. Beyond the fact that my vote potentially having a financial impact on players I didn't think was right or reasonable, but that's for each particular writer to decide for him or herself. But beyond that, it's like I just don't want to sit here and argue with people who are like going to be irrational about this. And I'm not even like questioning their irrationality. Like, I get it. You're a fan. You want to see your guy win. You watch him every day. And if you watch Cal Raleigh every day, there's no universe where you don't think he should be the most valuable player. And if you watch Aaron Judge every day, there's no universe where you think anyone else should be most valuable player. And it's I love that the debate exists for people, because I think there are exceptional cases to be made for both guys. And I'm just super interested to see what voters do because, guys, I'll be honest, I have no idea what direction this is going to go in. And
has there ever been co-MVPs? Has there ever been just,
Yeah.
you know, the 30 writers just say, listen, this is so, like, these guys are both so worthy of this. And by no means am I an everybody gets a medal kind of guy. But has there been, what's a precedent for co-MVPs?
I mean, it has to be really, really lucky because I don't think you're going to have Cal Raleigh getting 15 first place votes and Aaron Judge getting 15 second place votes and vice versa. But I suppose that's possible because I don't think there's anybody else who's going to get a first or second place vote this year. Like if you want to say Bobby Witt Jr., Bobby Witt's been great. He has not been as good as Aaron Judge or Cal Raleigh. Jose Ramirez has been awesome, not as good. And the only time I believe was fact check me on this, 1979. I think it was Willie Stargell and Keith Hernandez in the National League.
Jeff, are you you like Zips projections? Do you have a favorite projection system? I've always gone with Zips just because of Dan. I think he does a great job.
I was going to say I think Dan Zimborski is great. Okay. I look at projections, and I always think that projections are safe, which inherently they're supposed to be and should be. But I don't think projections that I look at them and say, yeah, this is what a guy's going to do.
Agreed.
No, I think
of course you're not supposed
the
to.
low side of that.
But which do you think is crazier? Cal Raleigh being where he's at right now after being projected to hit 28 home runs and 80 RBI this year. He's obviously at 58 and 121. Or Jorge Polanco being less valuable to the Mariners this year than Ryan Bliss or Samad Taylor? The answer is yes.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I get both of them.
Sure.
I get both of them. This is just such an outlier season for Cal Raleigh, not only from his career norms, but just the perspective of the position that he plays. I don't care who we're talking about. The notion of any catcher getting close to 60 home runs is foolish because catchers don't play enough games to compile those kinds of numbers. And that's the thing. I don't know if you guys heard before the Sunday night game, I did a little video essay on Cal. And, I started off with the fact that he's there every day. Like that to me, more than the home runs, stands out. That every single day, Cal Raleigh is in this lineup. I think he's going to finish with 159 games played unless the Mariners clinch and give him a day off, which they should. But they're going to be, at this point, they're fighting for home field, right? Like that's the thing about Detroit's collapse has been not just that Cleveland is within one game and now, could be tied after tonight. It's that it's allowed the Mariners, who are 48 and 27 at home this season, to be in position to miss the wild card series altogether and then host the division series.
Their magic number is 4 to have the second seed. Yeah. That's incredible with 6 left to play.
Do you guys want to know what the wildest number going on right now is? I don't know. Have you looked at the playoff odds on Fangraphs?
Yep.
Do you guys know who has the
Badonkadonk? Yep.
I mean,
it's Badonkadonk.
It is. If you mean ridiculous by that, yes it is.
Yes.
And
yes, it is.
And
especially for this fan base, Jeffrey, especially for these fans, especially for this city that wants this so stinking bad to look at that. And there's part of them that want to just put their hands over their eyes and not really.
Well, yeah,
Look at that.
You know why, Brock? Because that's the group of people who saw this team lose 15 of 21 games less than 3 weeks ago.
Yes. Yes.
They are eminently aware. As good as the Mariners look right now, as great as everyone feels coming off that Houston series, and with an American League clinch in sight at this point, I love Bob. I'm not going to be Bob and crown the Mariners yet because it's baseball and it's Seattle. Mm-hmm. And when you put those two things together, entropy happens. So I'm not going to say that the Mariners are going to be American League West champions, even though for months now I've been saying I think that's going to be the outcome. I'm just shocked that Fangraphs thinks, and not Fangraphs as if it's a human being, but the computers that the very smart people at Fangraphs use, that they believe that the Mariners have greater than a 1 in 5 chance of winning the World Series, a number that's significantly higher than any other team in baseball. The next best team is the Dodgers. The Mariners are at 21.5%. The Dodgers are at 14.2%. The Yankees are at 13.2%. The Blue Jays at 11.5%. The Phillies at only 9.6%.
Well, isn't that because some of those National League teams are going to have to play each other, right? I mean, just to get through the gauntlet of the Phillies, Dodgers. I think if you ask the same people or computers who are the best teams, I think they'd still say Phillies, Dodgers, Brewers are probably the 3 best teams in baseball. But the Mariners don't have to face any of those teams until you get to the World Series. They have to face a grouping in the American League that is nowhere close to that. And so I guess I ask you this. Let's say the Mariners do win the division, or Cleveland, Detroit, Houston, Boston will be left for 3 spots. Who's the odd man out?
My instinct tells me Houston, but the Astros are playing the A's and the Angels this week. And I know the A's have been playing better, but God, the Angels are just awful. And by the way, in the spirit of transparency and accountability, I was very wrong last week on this program about the Guardians, completely dismissing them.
Did somebody give you the business about that? Did somebody?
Yeah. Mike did, and I'm honestly, Brock, I'm perfectly okay with that. I think accountability is an important.
No. I'm not even going to read you the text that Salk sent to Mora. I'm not even going to read you the text that Salky sent to me and Lyle and Mora about that.
I said I was busting your something, but it didn't come out right on autocorrect or something.
It was really
highly inappropriate.
It became highly inappropriate. It sounded like you and I had a different type of relationship than we do.
Is this an HR issue, guys?
It could be. Yeah, it's an autocorrect HR issue.
Did I clip it and save it for maybe a later date?
I love it. I love it when people say autocorrect without putting the air quotes up. Yes. Just give a nice little wink here, Mike. It was autocorrect.
You know what it is? Honestly, jokes aside, you know what it is? It's getting to an age where if I don't have my glasses and I'm trying to text something, I have no idea what it says by the time I send it. So I hit send without having figured out whether or not it got changed or not.
Yeah, that's how you get arson judged, though. You have to have better text fidelity.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
Have to, because you're gonna send one off that's gonna.
You can make it bigger, Salk. You can make it like some people do.
I refuse to do that. I refuse to make it that big.
Hey, 2 serious questions here, Jeffrey. 2 serious questions. You wrote a book all about the arm, all about the elbow, all about Tommy John, all about flexor bundles. We've talked a lot about that. And I'm sure there was a section on a pec and the pectoral muscle and the impact and effects. What do we know about that? Because that's what Mr. Wu has. We'll get further detail from Mr. Hollander later this afternoon. How concerning is a pec?
There was not a section on a pec because a pec is a muscle, and muscle strains tend to sort of just come out of nowhere. I don't know what caused this with Bryan Wu, but if it is as minimal as the Mariners are hoping, I think we'll see Bryan Wu out there in Game 1 of the postseason, and I think he'll be just fine. But you know what I think the closest thing to liken it to is, Brock? It's an oblique. It's in the same general area, and recurrence is more frequent than you would like. But, hopefully for the sake of the Mariners, this was just a one-time thing. And I know Bryan Woo's been getting treatment the last few days, and there's optimism right now, but it's optimism that can vanish very quickly because of the nature of the injury.
Your guy, Carl Ravitch, had a good little point on this yesterday. I'm curious if your mind goes the same way his mind went and opinion went yesterday with us. Cal Raleigh's season this year has benefited whom the most on the Mariners around him?
I'm guessing he said Julio.
Yep.
I think there's probably some truth to that. I don't know if it's the most necessarily. I just think that when a guy is doing unprecedented things, it benefits everyone. And I know that's kind of a cop-out, but just the way that when a guy has to get pitched around in a lineup, it's not necessarily the one before him or the one after him who benefits the most. I haven't dug in enough on pitch patterns for other players to say definitively that what Cal Raleigh has done is giving this guy the most impact. So I don't want to say that, but I get the rationale, and one would think like logically it makes sense.
And he went more intangibly, honestly, Jeff. He went more to just the pressure, right? There's been so much expectation on Julio and so much to carry, and his ceiling is so high, and he's this and he's that, and he's all these expectations. And it's like, now I get to just play free, right? And he's a free-spirited, fun-spirit guy.
Yeah, I think there's that, but I think that went away a little bit, the self-inflicted pressure with Julio. I think that's come more with just him growing up a little bit.
Okay.
It's nice to sit here and think that Cal Raleigh's emergence as a superstar would free Julio, but I think that sort of sells Julio short, as if because one guy is performing that suddenly he doesn't feel the need to be great. The need to be great for him is there because it's inherent, not because it's what the Mariners need from him. I think all of those sorts of things, they tend to emanate more from the kind of personality you have than the people who are surrounding you. And let's not forget, like, Cal Raleigh had 38 home runs last year. Like, he wasn't a jobber last year. He had turned into not this version of himself, but a pretty reasonable facsimile. Sure. And I don't look at Julio like he's changed a whole lot as a player. I know he's striking out less, and that's nice to see. And I know he's tapped into the power that we've seen in past seasons. In a lot of ways, and correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't this kind of remind you of 2023 Julio?
Kind of reminds me of every year, Julio. Like, some struggles, and then he comes roaring back in the second half, and with a couple of steals, He's going to be 30-30 again. I mean, it just really remarkable. I was going through some of the numbers that the Mariners could end up with here by the end of the year. And, there's some really cool milestones, I guess you would call them, that are still in play. Cal could get to 60 home runs, obviously. He's not going to get to 20 stolen bases. He would need 6 more. So he's not that far from 60-20, but it's not going to happen. Julio needs 2 steals for 30-30. Randy needs 3 home runs.
Randy's close.
Yeah. 3 home runs and 2 steals for 30-30. Gino needs 3 home runs to get to 50. But my favorite little stat is this. Do you know, this is so bizarre, do you know how many stolen bases Ken Griffey Jr. had in his best stolen base career of his season of his career?
25.
24. Or 4 fewer than Josh Naylor has this year.
I know. It's absolutely absurd. I was kind of sad in my I gave out the awards today, and in the same article as the Badonkadonk of the year, I crowned the Thief of the Year and gave it to Juan Soto.
Oh.
And Juan Soto leads Major League Baseball in stolen bases in the second half.
That's crazy.
Juan Soto, he's got 35 steals this season. He had never stolen more than 13 bases in a season more than 12 bases in a season previously. Like it's just so funny to look at stolen base leaders like Agustin Ramirez, who is a catcher with a Cal Raleigh caliber body from the Miami Marlins, has more stolen bases in the second half than Bobby Witt Jr., Ellie De La Cruz, Fernando Tatis Jr., and like a number of guys. And it's one of those things that goes to show that there are little marginal advantages still left in baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeffrey, we got 30 seconds. I'm going to put this on a tee for you. Take it wherever you want. But with the final week of the season, with everything available, with everything on the horizon for the Mariners and their fan base, fill in the blank. The Mariners fan base is
not spoiled.
That's a good answer. Can't really argue with that one. I think that's right on cue.
You think you can handle this? Don't.
There she is. Nice job, Missy. Brock, you don't know that? That means nothing.
Now I know,
to you.
badonka-donk. Now
Somebody
I got it.
even put in some country song.
So hard not to stare at that honky tonk.
Badonka-donk.
Because someone said, how does Brock not know the
How do you not know that
country
one,
I'm
Brock?
sorry.
Come on
That's
now.
Yeah.
You think you can handle this? Don't.
All right, there we go. Thank you,
Can handle
Missy.
these badonka-donk
Thank you,
expectations.
Trace Atkins, apparently. I don't know who that is, but
Trace,
yes,
yeah.
Trace. And thank you to Jeff Passan. Jeff, when we talk next week, the season will be over.
But we won't be over. No, we won't. Baseball season ain't ending Sunday for us, Jeff.
Brock, stop.
Goodbye, Jeffrey. We'll talk to you next week. There's Jeff Passan. Every Tuesday at 8:30. We'll be right back on Brock and Salk.